All right, good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Then we'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if the bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have a contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney, 2 assistant state attorneys in the courtroom with me this morning. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Diana Adams. Ma'am, what's your date of birth?
8/11/58.
Ma'am, you're hearing a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for 1 count of burglary of a conveyance with a battery. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
A public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
There's no reportable criminal history here.
Oh, that's interesting. Miss Lane, I've got an address for you on Maycrest Avenue in Weeki Wachee. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
almost 12 years.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
I'm a widow, and I have a disabled son, and I have a daughter that just passed away.
Okay. So you don't work outside the home?
Yes, sir. I take care of my son.
Okay.
He should be there.
Yep. Okay. Okay, I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. Condition is that you have no contact with Wyatt Griffin. I don't know if you're even familiar with him, but to the extent that you are, you won't have any contact with him. And that means no contact of any kind. We'll have you back in court on the 23rd of October. If you get out, you should go see the public defender as soon as you can. If you can't get out, they're going to come see you at the jail, all right?
Sir, I don't know who he is. I yelled at a lady. I don't know who the gentleman is.
Okay, well that's fine. It will be easy to have no contact if you don't know. So that's that. I didn't think you would, so that shouldn't be a problem, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandy Clark. Wonder, Brandy, what's your date of birth?
1/28/85.
Brandy, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Scaglione. He found probable cause for 1 count of burglary of a conveyance. As for that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I need a public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. State.
I'm showing 2015 grand theft.
I have no income and...
Hang on.
2017 a possession of meth. And 2017 possession of paraphernalia.
Okay. And Brandy, I have an address for you on Carwich Avenue in Webster. Is that where you live?
Currently, I was residing in Sumner County Detention Center, sir, since July.
Okay, what's the address there?
2119 East Anderson Avenue, Bushnell, Florida.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
No, sir. Like I said, I'm incarcerated.
Okay. I'll set your bond at $2,000. I'll have you back in court on October 23rd. If you get out, make sure you go see the public defender right away, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Tina Gibbons.
I believe we have someone that wants to speak on that, Judge.
Okay. Wonder, Miss Gibbons, what's your date of birth?
7/5/66.
Tina, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Yeah, I'm showing nothing in Florida, out of state. There are 3 charges from one from 2015, 2 from 2016, but I'm not showing a disposition. The 15 is disorderly, the 16 is paraphernalia and reckless driving.
Okay.
But those are all 3 from Kentucky.
Okay. And who here wanted to speak? Anyone? No one.
I think they were outside.
Because I'm so scary. Is there somebody who wants to speak, Dave?
They were here, but I don't see them anymore.
Okay, who was it?
I believe it was probably the victim in the case.
Okay.
They were right here in the front row just a minute ago. I don't know what happened to them.
That was the first case.
Oh, was it?
That was
Yep.
for the other people.
I thought it was for,
No. Okay,
That's good.
Tina, I have an address for you in Georgetown, Kentucky. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were you doing in Hernando County?
We're here purchasing a house. We've purchased a house on, I'm trying to think, it's $4.99 Aladdin.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I quit my job to come here.
Okay.
I worked at a Toyota Motor Manufacturing in Georgetown.
Okay. All right. Tina, I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond, however, is that until we get this case resolved, you'll have no contact with Mr. Garrison, excuse me. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. You don't have a third person contact him. You don't go where he lives. You don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind, any way that you might imagine contacting him. I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charge is resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he's allowed to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he doesn't want to pursue this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they're not dropped, and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you at the jail today up until 4 this afternoon, so that if he wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. I'm going to have you back in court on the 23rd of October. If you get out, it's very important that you go see the public defender, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Johanna Irizarry. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
2/16/86.
I have 2 counts this morning. I have a petty theft and a resisting a merchant's efforts. There's probable cause for those 2 charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
I'm showing a grand theft from 2014 and a probation violation in 2015.
All right. And, ma'am, I have an address for you on Navajo Trail in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
About 10 years.
Do you have a job these days?
I'm about to start a job.
Okay. On count 1, I'll set your bond at $500. The arresting officer requested a ROR on count 2, so I'll honor that. So your total is $500. You'll be back in court on the 23rd of October. Make sure you go see the public defender when you get out, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Justinia Perez. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
9/14/89.
Ms. Perez, you're here on a charge of battery. Basically, it's a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for a domestic battery. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Represent myself.
I'm sorry?
Represent myself.
Okay. State?
Then I'm showing 2008, a principal to burglary of a dwelling, and looks like there were 2 charges of that. That's all I see.
All right. And Ms. Perez, I have an address for you on Cameo Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
About 12, 13 years.
All right. And does Angel Gonzalez happen to live there?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Ms. Perez, I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Angel. Did you hear me explain no contact a moment ago?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'll have you back in court on the 18th of October, and we'll go from there, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christine White. What Ms. White, what's your date of birth?
12/12/85.
And Ms. White, you're also here on a warrant. The judge has signed the warrant, found probable cause for a petty theft. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Who would you like the public defender?
A public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
Your Honor, I left my kids with
Hang
the
on,
next
hang
door
on,
neighbor.
hang on.
There's a battery out of 2009. I think that's the only reportable history.
Okay. And Christine, I've got an address for you on Bell Avenue in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
For a year.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
I'm on disability, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set your bond at $500. I'll have you back in court on the 18th of October. When you get out, make sure you go see the public defender, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Brittany Owens.
I have an invitation here that he already has a court date, that's the condition of the violation.
Yes.
Nope.
No, that was no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Are
I'm sorry.
you thinking of Andrew? There's an Andrew and a Christine White. There's 2
Okay,
Whites.
that's one. Sorry.
Brittany's grandmother is here.
Okay. What are we doing?
It's a violation. The recommendation is 10 days. She has 5 in.
Okay. Is that what she wants to do?
I believe it is.
Brittany, you want to take 10 days with credit for 5 served?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have a case number for me, Dave?
So it's 2017 CT 0971.
And the charge for the dwellers?
No
valid
valid
DL.
DL.
Valid. Okay. All
And
right.
as I said, Judge, her grandmother is
All right.
present.
And grandmother, do you have any questions or concerns? Do you understand what we're doing here today?
Not really.
Okay. Well, she apparently violated her probation. The defense lawyer has arranged a deal where she admits the violation. I'll sentence her to 10 days in the county jail. She's already got 5 in, so she'd have 5 more to do, and then they'll let her out. And if you want her back, you can have her.
Okay, what about,
Hang on a second.
Your Honor.
Hang on a second. Go ahead, Grandma.
what about a fine?
And that all that stuff will still be out there, and before she ever gets a driver's license, she'll have to get in a payment plan for that. And the folks downstairs on the first floor in room 136, they can help with setting up payment plans and so forth. There's going to be a cost for her being in jail, and the fine and court costs that I assessed whenever I sentenced her, whenever that was. But as long as you're in a payment plan on those things, then she can get a driver's license.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Ma'am, thank you for being here. Brittany, did you have some questions?
Yes, sir. I wanted to know if it was possible if I can get out Friday and Saturday and return to do the rest of my sentence because I had a death in the family.
Okay. One, I'm not a totally heartless person, Brittany, but that's not something I'm going to let you do. You're in custody. I'm going to keep you here till the sentence is complete, all right?
Alright.
All right. Brittany, you understand by entering an admission to a violation of probation, you give up the right to have a trial to the court, the right to confront the witnesses against you, but you're willing to give up those rights so we can resolve this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 17 CT 971. Do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept that admission, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll revoke and terminate that probation unsuccessfully, adjudicate you guilty of the underlying charge, sentence you to 10 days in the county jail, credit 5 days served, be a $50 cost of prosecution and $100 for the public defender's office and your cost of incarceration, but that takes care of it, Brittany. You just need to finish the time, all right? Thank you. Charles Burgess? Morning, Charles. What's your date of birth?
12/6/88.
Charles, the charge is driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Or would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
So, Your Honor, this one is Sean. He's on probation currently for the same thing. Looks like there's a suspended sentence on the probation. That is case number 17 CT 1834. Aside from that, Your Honor, they're showing 2013 a grand theft, 2014 paraphernalia, 2014 another driving offense, 2017 another driving offense.
Okay.
I believe that's the one.
And Charles, you got an address for you on Lake Street in Weekiwash. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
23 years.
You got a job these days?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Concrete work.
Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. On this charge, I'll set your bond at $2,000. This one's coming back October 23rd. Now, it appears you're already on misdemeanor probation. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's going to happen? Today is Tuesday. So probably before the end of the week, there's going to be a warrant for your arrest for violating that probation. The bond on that warrant will be no bond. So if you spend money getting out on this one today, you're probably going to lose that money because they're going to pick you up later in the week for the VOP. If you stay right where you are, when that VOP comes back to court, you'll get credit for every day that you've been in, starting whenever you got arrested, either last night or yesterday. But that'll be up to you entirely. Just understand that that's coming, and if you want to think about that before you bond out on this charge, all right?
All right.
All right. So this will be back on the 23rd. If you don't bond out, the PD will come see you, okay? Thank you.
Yeah.
Sean Hager? Morning, Sean. What's your date of birth?
3/17/83.
All right, Sean, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. Apparently, you failed to appear in his court. You must have been late. Is that what you did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So he issued a warrant, and you got a lawyer on this case, Sean?
No, sir.
Would you like the public defender?
Yes, please.
I'm going to appoint the public defender.
Is there any way you could lower my bond on that?
Sean, without getting into too much, the answer is no. I understand what happened, and I'm not going to say anything about it, but circuit judge has decided that's how he's going to do things, and I'm supposed to go along with it, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll appoint you the public defender. They'll come see you right away to see if there's something they can do to get you resolved quicker based on how this went down. So I'm going to leave the bonds at the $4,000, $2,000, and $2,000 that he set them at yesterday. And if you bond out, you should go see the public defender right away. Otherwise, they'll come see you. You will be back in court on these on October 23rd, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Can I ask you a question? Why is it 4,000? Why is it 4,000, 2,000, and 2,000?
My guess is your original bonds were
2-1 and 1.
2-1 and 1. And the rule on failing to appear does say that if you fail to appear, the bonds are supposed to be double or 2,000, which is ever more. I think there's some question about whether or not you failed to appear, but that's not a question I'm going to answer here this morning. You'll have to get back in front of Judge Toner, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Frank Montavano. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
7/17/1965.
And Frank charges driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD, State.
There is, let's see, 96 marijuana, 97 DWLS DUI, also marijuana paraphernalia 97, 2001 DWLS, let's see, 2011 we have a DWLS and a failure to appear, 2011 again we have possession of controlled substance and a failure to appear, and then a probation violation. Well, that's 2011. 2014 we have a possession of a controlled substance, and possession of marijuana less than 20, and DWLS, HTO, that's also 2014.
Okay. Frank, I got an address for you on Cobblestone in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Not even a year yet. I just moved there.
Okay. How long have you been in Hernando County?
Since 1990.
Yeah, I thought you were here a while. You got a job these days?
Excuse me? Yes,
Yeah.
sir, I do.
What do you do?
Auto mechanic.
Okay. All right, Frank, I'll set your bond at $2,000. I'll have you back October 23rd. Make sure you go see the PD when you get out, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Telly Roundtree. Want to tell you what your date of birth?
2/28/76.
All right, Sally. First thing I have is we have 5 new charges. I have false imprisonment, assault on a law enforcement officer, a domestic battery by strangulation, a resisting with violence, and 1 count of possession of cocaine. There's probable cause as to those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD. The other thing I've got here is a probable cause arrest for a violation of probation. It looks like you're currently on felony probation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so there is probable cause for that as well. As to that charge, would you also like the public defender?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll point to PD on that one as well. All right. And then State, you want to give me some history?
Sure. We are. And you mentioned the probation already. I have the case number there if you'd like it, Your Honor.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. Aside from that, we have, let's see, it goes back to 95, looking at battery, 96 cocaine. We have 2000, battery on a law enforcement officer, looks like ×2. Felony fleeing to elude. Resisting with violence, 2003, disorderly. 2005, possession of cannabis with intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a school. 2006, fleeing, attempting to elude. 2006, resist without violence. 2009, domestic battery. 2009, domestic battery. 2009, resist without. 2009, violation of pretrial release conditions. 2016, battery, second or subsequent. That'll be ×3 on that charge. And I think other than what is pending now, that's the last I see.
Okay. All right. Okay, so tell you what we're going to do on the VOP, of course, the bond is going to be no bond. That case is coming back on the 17th of October. They told you the 23rd. I'm moving it to the 17th. On the new charges, on the false imprisonment, I will leave the bond at the schedule, which is $5,000. On the assault, $2,000. On the battery, domestic battery at $5,000. And resisting with violence and possession of cocaine at $2,000 each. The total on that case is $16,000. Of course, you can't bond out because of the no bond on the VOP. Additional condition on those charges is that you're not to have contact with Rotanya Anthony. In your case, that means you do not call or write her from the jail. I'm specifically ordering you not to call or write her from the jail. If you do call or write her from the jail, whether you use your number or somebody else's number or any other method or process to do that, every instance of calling her or writing her could be a new criminal charge. It could also be direct criminal contempt because I'm ordering you not to do it. Every criminal contempt could be 6 months in the county jail. They could charge it as witness tampering, and that could be felony charges. So it's very important that you don't attempt to call her or write her from the jail, all right?
Sure.
And those cases will also come back on October 17th. Public defender will come see you before your court date, okay?
John, can I confirm that 17th is a date for Judge Merritt?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Thank
Yep. All right, thank you. Jonathan Roderick. And Jonathan, what's your date of birth?
40192.
I've got the two new charges, a domestic battery and a witness tampering, and then it appears that you are currently on probation out of Lake County, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So I have a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. There is probable cause for that. As to the local charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State?
Your Honor, first he has another open case. It's going to be 15 CF 1455. The date of offense on that was 9/3/15. And it's set for pretrial. It looks like in front of Judge Toner on 9/29. So just in a few days.
Okay.
The state would be requesting an RCO on that case based on new law.
If I do that, Charles, you want me to move the new case to the 29th as well?
I think that would be appropriate, and then we can just address, obviously, if they don't have enough time, we can address and continue,
Okay.
but at least it's all together. That's
Okay.
Would you like to hear the rest of the history?
I still would. I'd still like to know if there's any history of violence.
Yes, sir. I'm showing 2016 possession of marijuana, 2016 paraphernalia. There's a tampering with evidence, also 2016, 2017, and I don't believe these are not the cases that were pending here. There's a possession of methamphetamine, possession of cannabis, and that's all I'm showing other than what we talked about already.
Okay. So a couple of things going on here, Jonathan. The first thing we'll do is on the new charges. I'm going to set the bonds at $2,500 for each count. That's a total of $5,000. I'm going to move those to September 29th because apparently you have another case that's pending there. Condition of the bond in that is that you do not call or write Bailey Barbeau from the jail. Did you hear me explain about not calling or writing from the jail to Mr. Roundtree a second ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that'll come back on the 29th. The next issue is it appears that you were on pretrial release on a pending criminal case, 15 CF 1455. Job number one when you have pending criminal cases is don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you have. So pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in that case. We're going to hold you without bond on that case, which is also coming back on the 29th. And then finally on the Lake County VOP, the bond will be no bond. How this will work is that you'll stay here in Hernando County until such time as you've resolved all your Hernando County issues. When those are done, you'll be transported to Lake County to deal with the VOP in Lake County. Public defender is going to come see you at the jail prior to your Friday hearing this week, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Denzel Smith. Well, Mr. Smith, what's your date of birth?
07/28/90.
All right. Mr. Smith, you're here on a warrant. Well, you got two warrants today. One was signed by... one warrant. Sorry, hang on. Signed by Judge Eineman. He found probable cause for 5 counts of robbery and 5 counts of false imprisonment. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD and state what can you tell me.
Let's see, 2011, I'm showing the burglary of a dwelling. 2013, sale of oxy. 2013, another sale of Oxy. 2013, another sale of Oxy. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 total 2013 sale. See, 2013, there's keeping of a place for selling controlled substances, unlawful use of two-way communication device. There is a battery in 2014, and that is last report the one I'm showing here.
All right. And Mr. Smith, I have an address for you on County Road 205 in Wildwood. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
About 5 years.
You have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm a former landscaper.
Okay. I'm going to, Mr. Smith, I'm going to leave your bond for the warrant, which is a total of $275,000. It's $50,000 on each of the robberies and $5,000 on each of the false imprisonments, with the condition that you not have any contact with any alleged victim. They'll have you back in court on the 23rd of October. If you're not able to get out, the public defender will come see you at the jail before your court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jason Ulch. Morning, Jason. What's your date of birth?
6/13/84.
Jason, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for 3 counts: driving on a suspended license, possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I'm gonna hire a public defender.
Right. You want the public defender?
Yes.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender. State what he tell me.
First, there is an open case. It looks like in front of Judge Toner, set for pretrial on 10/13/17.
Okay.
That case number is 17 CF 1272, and the date of offense on that is 6/19/17. Says they'd be asking for an RCO.
Okay.
Based on that case. As far as the history, in 2004, I'm showing aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 2007, there's a battery. 2009, a sale of Oxy. 2009, a felony DWLS. 2009, possession of methamphetamine. 2009, possession of paraphernalia. There's a failure to appear in 2009. 2010, a burglary of a conveyance. 2011, a grand theft. Dealing in stolen property, 2011. DWLS, felony, 2011. Felony DWLS, 2011. 2013, felony DWLS, possession of controlled substance. 2013, resist without. 2013, paraphernalia, 2013. More DWLS, 2013, 2015, DWLS.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so Jason, what we're going to do here on the current, and did you say the return date on the open case was 10/13?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What we'll do on these new cases, I'll leave the bonds for the warrant, which is $2,000, $1,000, $1,000. Total is $4,000. I'll move these to the 13th of October, where your other case is. And then also, because you've got an open case, I'm going to revoke your bond in 17 CF 1272. So we're going to hold you without bond at least until the 13th of October, when you'll be back in front of Judge Toder on all your cases. He certainly can revisit the bond at that time if he wants to, but you'll be without bond until the 13th, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Javorn Watkins. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
March 30th, 1980.
One second. Watkins, I have 2 charges this morning: driving under the influence and driving with a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
private counsel.
Very good. State what you tell me.
No reportable history.
Okay, he's got some prior DUIs that are on his driving record.
I'm showing just one, maybe out of state. I'm showing one, but it showed it was no action was taken on it. According to this.
Yeah, there's one from Hillsborough in 09 and another one from Hillsborough in 11.
Yeah,
I mean, they're on his convictions on his driving records.
okay, it may be something we gotta pull up.
Yeah, you'll have
But
to-
yes, this paperwork I'm showing is both shows everything in his head is dropped.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Watkins, I have an address for you. Puritan Circle in Tampa. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
15 years.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yeah, American Express.
Okay. Okay. On the DUI, we leave the bond at $2,000. On the driving on suspended, I'll set it at $500. So your total is $2,500. I'll have you back in court on the 18th of October. Very important that you get the hold of counsel and let them know about that court date. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Andrew White. Morning, Mr. White. What's your date of birth?
3583.
Okay. And Mr. White, you're here because it looks like Judge Merritt has revoked your bond in an open case. It's 17 CF 956. Do you have a lawyer on that case, Mr. White?
Yes, I do.
Is it a public defender?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're on no bond now, and you'll be back in court, looks like on Friday, the 29th of September. I'm sure the PD will come see you before that, okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that should be it. Thanks, folks.